Dragados, USA, executed one of the largest public works projects ever undertaken in New York. New York City is home to the largest transportation system in the United States. An estimated 5 million people use it every day. Much of New York's transit system was created over 100 years ago and was not designed for today's traffic demands.
East Side Access is a great accomplishment. It's one of the largest construction projects in the world, in the country, if not the world. Very challenging, above ground, below ground, interacting with the existing railroad, the DOT, all the traffic operations, the community, the agencies.
Every weekday, 230,000 Long Islanders use the train to commute to Manhattan. They travel to Penn Station on the west side of Midtown. Nearly half of these people proceed on to their workplaces on the east side. The East Side Access Project was designed to ease the commute for Long Island Railroad passengers and give them direct access to Grand Central Terminal in Manhattan, terminating at Grand Central Terminal. This bold program creates a direct rail connection that starts at the existing Sunnyside Yard in Queens, proceeds under the East River, and runs for more than 20 blocks beneath the streets of East Side Manhattan.
I'm very happy that we're finally finished, and it was a great accomplishment. This will change the lives of many people once this project is complete, which is several years down the line.
The Manhattan Tunnels and Structures contracts, two of the largest for the East Side Access Project, were awarded by the MTA to Dragados, USA. The projects run under Manhattan from 63rd Street and 2nd Avenue tunnels under Park Avenue and Grand Central Terminal to East 37th Street. The project entailed the excavation and/or initial support of over 32,000 feet of tunnels with 22-foot-long diameters, two large caverns about 70 feet high, 60 feet wide, and 1,143 feet long, two double-level and six single-level 400-foot-long Y caverns, two 350-foot-long crosses over the caverns, three double-level ventilation plenums, two assembly chambers, 10 connecting tunnels, and 10 crossings passages. The work also includes the concrete and shotcrete final lining of certain tunnels, as well as the inverts of 4 wide and 1 crossover cavern. The running tunnels were excavated with two 22-foot diameter TBM machines, one double-shielded machine, and one main beam machine. Both were assembled in two assembly chambers, excavated by drilling and blasting under the intersection of 62nd Street with 2nd Avenue. The access to the assembly chambers was through two existing tunnels excavated 30 years ago. These tunnels were accessed from the Belmouth shaft in Queens, 1.6 miles from the assembly chambers. Each TBM excavated approximately 16,000 feet of tunnel, with 4 different drives performed by each TBM. Each driven TBM tunnel consisted of a forward drive, a retraction of the machine through the completed tunnel, the placing of a concrete plug in front of the machine, and the redriving of the machine through the concrete plug in order to redirect the machine to the subsequent TBM tunnel excavation. About 2,500 feet of cast-in-place final tunnel lining was placed subsequent to the TBM drives. In order to connect the new station's caverns with the new Grand Central Concourse level, 4 major escalators, 37 feet wide, 22 feet high, and 150 feet long incline shafts, as well as 4 90-foot deep vertical shafts, were excavated and lined. Excavating the incline shafts required the removal of the interfering columns of the existing train shed, as well as a portion of the existing Helmsley building foundation. The interfering columns were replaced with a new steel structure supported by mini-pile foundations. An intricate load transfer procedure was followed to ensure that no settlement occurred in either the train shed of the Helmsley building. The subsequent of the inclined shafts was performed mechanically in 2 stages. The first stage required mechanical excavation to a depth below the existing train shed foundations. The second stage of the excavation utilized drill and blast methods to complete the incline. Mucking was accomplished utilizing a Menzie mucker excavator and one side shelf discharger muck cars. Bolting and shotcreting provided initial support of the excavations. Waterproofing, rebar, and shotcrete placement completed the final lining procedure. For the excavation and final lining of the 4 vertical shafts, a rolling gantry crane designed for vertical shaft operations was installed. The vertical shafts provide the required space for the elevators and ventilation systems that will service the new Long Island Railroad concourse level. 2 new 67 feet high, 58 feet wide, and 1,143 feet long Grand Central Station caverns were also excavated in multiple lifts. After the TBM excavation through the station's caverns, 80,000 cubic yards of top-heading excavation was performed in 3 shifts, using the road header, as well as the drill and blast techniques. The top heading arch, 58 feet wide and 1,143 feet long, was waterproofed and concreted. 105,000 bank cubic yards of bench and lower central pillar were also drilled and blasted in 2 lifts. The cavern rock removal was completed with the excavation of multiple pits in the inverts of each of the caverns, required to provide housing for the multiple of escalators and elevators that will eventually service the future train platforms. Concrete placement was required at the invert of each pit. The cavern excavations had a high degree of complexity due to the proximity of Grand Central's Metro North trains, resulting in restrictive blasting criteria and windows. The new Grand Central Terminal Station caverns have been excavated 50 feet below the Metro North Railroad tracks. The extraordinary challenge of the East Side Access project is that it has to be excavated while keeping the Grand Central Terminal and other critical structures throughout the east side of Manhattan functioning 24/7. In 2010, the East Side Access project was performed by Dragados USA, who won the Project of the Year Runner-Up Award in recognition of an outstanding tunneling project undertaken under difficult urban, logistic, and geological conditions. In 2006, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority awarded CM009 Manhattan this huge project to Dragados USA, an international construction company with an outstanding record of 540 successfully developed underground transportation projects throughout its 70 years of existence.
We are building a station with elevators, escalators, Y caverns, crossover caverns, tunnels, all underneath the biggest megatropolis in the world, New York City. All the while, never disrupting what's going on above us.
In June 2013 and October 2013, the work on CM009 and CM019 respectively achieved substantial completion as required by the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Dragados USA and its affiliate company, Schiavone, have been able to successfully execute one of the largest public works projects ever undertaken in New York, the East Side Access Project.